All right, I talk about the Destin Bridge quite a bit. It's no secret. This is probably my favorite dive site in this area. We call it the Destin Wall Dive. And I got a last minute call from Emerald Coast Scuba saying they were gonna head out and dive it. And this was just a couple of days ago. So I just threw everything together really quickly and jumped right in. Now, what I really love about this dive is the redfish, which you've seen in previous camera drops. But to get really good footage, I want to take my big camera rig down. So this is a behind the scenes look at how I do that, how I get these more cinematic shots. First off, I noticed that the visibility is not great. So I'm using really powerful Kraken lights to compensate, get some color back. And unfortunately, in my haste to put all my gear together last minute, the monitor cable was loose and I no longer have monitor capabilities on this dive. So focus is definitely going to be an issue. Now, what I typically do is ease my way over to these pilings where I know I'm going to be seeing them, and yet my presence is going to make them take off. But that's okay because I know they're going to be back here. So I'm going to take my big camera rig, I've got it on a tripod, and I'm just going to leave it there. So when the redfish decide to come back, they'll be all over this camera. So after I get everything set up, take the 360 off the rig so I have a camera to shoot with as I make a loop around the pilings. Then come across the Goliath grouper on the north side. And he was being real friendly this day. And then start making my way back to the southeast side. As I'm going, the school kind of surrounds me and starts making its way back to the hole. And they come in right where I want them. And their usual habits is just circling around and around. And as cool of a shot as this is, it's unfortunately not what I was going for. My lights were way too bright, casting too much shadow, a little too much contrast from the foreground to what's happening in the background. The colors are all uneven. It's not my best work. But that's underwater cinematography. It's not something that can be rushed, and every time you do it, you figure out another way to do it better the next time. Whether it's a tweak of the white balance or dimming the lights a little more, testing out an autofocus, there's always room for improvement. So it wasn't the money shot, but definitely worth a behind the scenes look at the process.